going crazy, a storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road. How about that, guys? Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing, guys. Emergency Management Associates is on the air. How about that, guys? We're back with you again today. On the air, guys. Welcome us, guys. Thank you for being here. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina, guys. We're west of the beach here on the East Coast. We're approximately 1,200 feet off the sea level, so we're in the foothills of the Eastern Continental Divide. We're here for you every day, Monday through Friday. If something happens during the weekend, we come on the air to tell you about that as well. Let's go and talk about earthquakes first, okay? Let's bring up the USGS map here. Now, where'd it go? There it is. We got the USGS map here. Let's take down our EMA banner here. Let's go and take down our webcam. We'll be back. We're not leaving. Just taking down the webcam and the banner and talk about earthquakes here. All around the world. Literally all around the world. Let's go first up here to Alaska. Okay? Want to touch on Alaska first. Okay? Let's go over here to Anchorage, Alaska. See where Anchorage, Alaska is? Guess what? We have an earthquake. Okay? This was a minor 2.1 earthquake in Anchorage, Alaska. Guys, minor earthquakes cannot be felt. This earthquake was also 22 kilometers deep. Very shallow earthquake. Very shallow earthquake. Okay? Not felt over here in Anchorage, but it hit in Anchorage City here. Let's zoom in here. I want to show you where it hit. Right down here in central Anchorage. Okay? Central Anchorage, Alaska here. Okay? So we actually had an earthquake here in Anchorage, Alaska. Across the Cook Inlet here. Across the Cook Inlet here. This is 9 miles west-northwest of Anchorage. It's also 1.7 tremor. 1.7 tremor. Let's go almost directly north. This is a 2.0 earthquake near Tanana, Alaska. Tanana, Alaska, guys. Go north again. Also almost directly north here. This is a 1.7 near Fishhook, Alaska. Okay? This is a 2.2 earthquake 11 miles northeast of Fishhook, Alaska. USGS has this as northeast. It's not northwest. It's not northwest. It's northeast. We go further to the north here. This is a 2.1 earthquake. Notice we have twos here. Notice we have 2.0s, 2.1 earthquakes here in Anchorage and north of Anchorage as well. Want to make sure you understand that. Okay? Further way out here to the east, this is also a 2.0 earthquake. 34 miles northeast of Glacier View, Alaska. Glacier View, Alaska, another 2.0 earthquake. Now, let's go over here. Okay, this is near Suisun, Alaska, another 2.1 earthquake. Northeast of there, this is a 1.6, 7 miles northeast of Suisun, Alaska. Let's go over to the west. Guess what? Another 2.2 minor earthquake. Interesting. This is a 1.7 here, Central Alaska. This is another 2.2 earthquake. 2.2 earthquake just south of Denali, Alaska. Denali National Park. Let's go up here into central Denali, Alaska. Okay, guess where this is at? It's in the foothills of a mountain. A very steep and powerful mountain in Alaska. Guess what? This is another 2.0 Alaska here, 2.0 earthquake here. Okay? Incredible. All of these are 2.0 earthquakes. Interesting, huh? Let's go up to the north side of Denali, Alaska. This is another 2.1 minor earthquake. 2.1 minor earthquake. North of there, northwest of there, is another 2.0 earthquake. Listen to what I'm telling you. 2.0 minor earthquakes here in Alaska. Multiple. This is the first time we've seen these 2.0 earthquakes like this in Alaska. Let's go further to the northeast here. Okay? This is a 1.7 tremor. And this is a 3.5 earthquake. This is a 3.5 small earthquake here, northeast of Denali, Alaska. Okay? All of these twos all over central Alaska, south central Alaska. And then over here off the northeast side of Denali National Park, we have a 3.5 small earthquake. I want you to take note of that. That's also important. Let's come down here to the south of Mount Redoubt. Mount Redoubt is up here. South of Mount Redoubt here, guess what? More earthquakes here. This is another 2.2 earthquake. 2.2 minor earthquake here. For the south here, this is a 1.7 tremor. So far, we've had 3 1.7 tremors and a bunch of 2.0s, 2.1, 2.2 earthquakes, and 1 3.5. Interesting. Let's keep an eye on this, huh? Shouldn't we? Should we keep an eye on this? I think so. I think this is very important. What are we seeing here, guys? What are we seeing here in South Central Alaska? Earthquakes, a lot of them. And I think we need to pay attention to what we're seeing here. Okay? That is in South Central Alaska. Let's drop down here to the southeast side of the Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia. This is an aftershock. This is an earthquake aftershock. This is another 5.0 large earthquake. Another 5.0 large earthquake here off the southeast side of Kamchatka, Russian Peninsula. This is an aftershock of a major earthquake that hit here over a month and a half ago. These are continuing. This is not the only earthquake that hit here today, but USGS denies anything else is happening. Okay? Let's go south. Okay? Notice this. Earthquake off of Honshu, Japan today. Off of northern Honshu, Japan. This is another 5.2 large earthquake here. 5.2 large earthquake here. This is 21 kilometers deep. A very shallow earthquake. Okay? Again, it's not the only earthquake that has hit Japan today. I want to make that clear. Let's go over here. This is another earthquake that we need to keep a track onto. Okay? This is over here off the coast of Manila, Philippines. Okay? This is a 4.6 earthquake. This is a 4.6 moderate earthquake here. Okay? This is 91 kilometers deep. 91 kilometers deep. Now again, it's not the only earthquake here in the Philippines. The United States Geological Survey is not keeping up with what's going on. They don't want people to know what's happening. It's not the only one. We go down here into Indonesia. Again, you need to be reminded. This area, Southeast Asia, Australia, going down into New Zealand, the largest subduction area in the world. The largest subduction area of the world. 7 different tectonic plates reside here. 7 different tectonic plates reside here, and they cause earthquakes. They cause subduction earthquakes. Why is that important? Let me stop here and bring up our webcam here so I can show you exactly what's going on. 7 different tectonic plates, one subducting on the other just like this. Subduction. Subduction causes earthquakes. Subduction movement, tectonic plate movement underneath other tectonic plates are causing earthquakes. The largest subduction area in the world, and USGS is not even identifying earthquakes here, except for one over here in Indonesia. This happens to be a 5.3 earthquake here. A 5.3 earthquake here near Morganton, Indonesia. Morganton, Indonesia, a large earthquake. Why is USGS denying us see all the other earthquakes here? There are foreshocks, there are aftershocks, and there's about 2.5 dozen other earthquakes here. 38 earthquakes here in the Indonesia area, and USGS is not showing any of them. Not a single one. Why not? I think they should be showing it. They should definitely be showing it. Earthquakes here in Papua New Guinea, not showing it. Earthquakes over here in Vanuatu, Tonga, Samoa region. Down here in New Zealand. 24 earthquakes here in New Zealand. Why are they not showing them? Way down here to the south of New Zealand here. This earthquake is a 5.0 earthquake in the Bellany Islands. In the Bellany Islands here. This earthquake is 6.210 kilometers deep. 5.0 large earthquake here. USGS is only showing this earthquake. Why not all the others? Yes, I want to put a guilt trip on USGS. Okay? I'm very tired of them not showing what's going on, not allowing anybody else to see what's happening. Okay? I'm getting fed up with it. And you should be as well. One earthquake being shown here in Europe. Right here. Guys, this is in the Aegean Sea here, just east of Greece. Guess what? We have a lot of other earthquakes here as well. This just happens to be a 4.5 earthquake here. A 4.5 earthquake here. Guys, under the Aegean Sea here, there's magma flowing through magma channels here. Each and every one of these islands here in the Aegean Sea were made here, put here by volcanic action. Magmatic action here. There is magma flowing beneath the surface of the Aegean Sea. That magma is hammering away at different plates and also hammering away at fault zones. Hammering away at other hardened lava down here under the Aegean Sea. Trying to find a way to erupt. When earthquakes started happening here earlier this year, USGS said, oh, don't worry, not to worry, there are a couple fault zones here. Doesn't happen. USGS had to eat its own shorts. They had to admit there was magma down here under the Aegean Sea. They told the Italian Earthquake Agency, and they told the European Meteorological Agency, EMSC, that yes, there's magma flowing down here under the Aegean Sea. Incredible. Because before that, they didn't say a word. Oh, there are a couple of earthquakes, faults down here. You don't have to worry about them. Interesting enough. Earthquakes started down here earlier this year. There's a reason for it. Right here in the harbor here. Guess what? This is the center of the volcano. The center of the volcano, guys. That's why we had earthquakes here. And again, they're not showing everything that's going on. There are still earthquakes happening here because there's magma down beneath the surface trying to find a way to erupt. "24 earthquakes. Actually, I think it's 25 earthquakes here in Greece today. 25 earthquakes. Why are they not showing them? Why not? Over here in northwestern Turkey, 250 earthquakes here, and they don't show any of them. Not one earthquake here. 250 earthquakes here. They don't show any of them. There are also a lot of other earthquakes here to the north and to the west and to the south. They're not showing not one of them. Not one of them. Northern Turkey here, southern Turkey here, Central Turkey, we have earthquakes. As I had pointed out before, we're here in eastern Turkey near the Syria border here. There are 42 earthquakes here today. 42 earthquakes, guys. I counted them earlier. 42 aftershocks. 42 aftershocks from an earthquake that hit here 2.5 years ago, February 3rd, 2023. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake. We're still having earthquakes today. Interesting. But why are they not showing these earthquakes? They should be. They're not showing any earthquakes here in the Middle East. There are earthquakes here as well. Not showing any. Why not? Earthquakes over here in Southeast Asia. Myanmar, Burma area. See Burma here? It's now called Myanmar. Myanmar. Okay? There is a fight between the Chinese and the Myanmar people. Civil war. Civil war going on. We're not getting the full truth about what's going on here as well. Earthquakes all over this area. They're not talking. It's very disappointing that they are not showing hardly any earthquakes at all here in Southeast Asia. And we know for a fact they're not showing any earthquakes over here in the Fiji, Tonga, Samoa area, and down here into New Zealand. They never do. Going out here in the Western Pacific, different story. Over here on the central earthquake fault over here in the Pacific Ocean. This is a Central East Pacific rise. Today we have a 5.0 earthquake here. 5.0 earthquake. We go north here. Okay. This is off the northern coast of Ecuador. Off the northern coast of Ecuador. This is a 4.7 earthquake here. 4.7 earthquake here. There are 36 earthquakes here in South America. They're not showing not one of them. Not one of them. 12 earthquakes here in central Chile, Argentina area. Northern Chile, a bunch more. Southern Peru, a couple more. Up here in Colombia, more. Why are they not showing them? Yes, these earthquakes are small and minor earthquakes. Small and minor earthquakes. Why are they not showing them? Yes, we've had large earthquakes here in South America that USGS has not identified in the past. I think that's just deplorable. I think that's deplorable. Right here in Central America. Puerto Cortes, Costa Rica. Puerto Cortes, Costa Rica. A 4.7 moderate earthquake. This happens to be 8.2 miles deep. 8.2 miles deep. Then we go north over here to Nicaragua. This is another 5.3 earthquake. Large 5.3 earthquake, and there are 14 other earthquakes here as well. 5.3 earthquake, this happens to be 80 miles deep. 80 miles deep, just southwest of Managua, Nicaragua, the capital. This earthquake has caused a lot of damage. And I believe it may have also caused some injuries and also some fatalities here. Okay. 5.3 large earthquake here. southwest of Managua, Nicaragua, the capital. It's not the only earthquake here. We go up here, just off the coast of El Salvador. A 4.2 earthquake here. This happened to be 46 miles deep. 46 miles deep, guys. These are not the only earthquakes that are here. These are not the only earthquakes that are here. There are 42 earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 42 earthquakes here in southern Mexico, ranging in size from 2.5 to 4.5 earthquakes. 2.5 to 4.5 moderate earthquakes. 2.5 are minor earthquakes, 4.5 are moderate earthquakes. Down here in Oaxaca, Mexico, and all the way up here, all along the resort areas of southern Mexico. Acapulco, Zihuatanejo, Manzanillo, and all the way up here to Puerto Vallarta. Earthquakes all over this region. They never show these unless they desire it. Then they might show one or two, and that's all. Guys, people are going to lose their lives here. There is a reason these earthquakes are happening. Other than just ground movement, there's a reason these earthquakes are happening. These earthquakes are leading to larger, shallow earthquakes that are going to do more and more damage, just like that one down in Managua, Nicaragua today. That is a very dangerous earthquake. Even though it's still on the smaller side of the large scale, 5.0 to 5.4, considered to be large earthquakes. 5.5 and larger to 5.9 are considered to be very large and very dangerous earthquakes. Happened today on the Cocos Plate. The Cocos Plate there. Very dangerous place. A very dangerous place. Down here in Texas, we have a lot of earthquakes. Lots of earthquakes, ranging in size from 1.5 on up to 2.7. 1.5 to 2.7. You notice this one in red? This is a 1.4 tremor here near Midland, Texas. These are in oil fields, guys. These earthquakes are in oil fields. Southwestern Texas over here, south of New Mexico. This is a 2.9 earthquake here. 2.9 minor earthquake here. Okay? This is a 1.8 tremor. Swarms of earthquakes in oil fields. This is a huge oil field, guys. This is a huge oil field. Look at the oil fields all around these quakes. Each one of these white or gray pads here are pumps and jacks to pull oil and gas out of the ground here. This is a huge oil and gas field. That's why we have these earthquakes. These are called fracking quakes. Fracking quakes. Okay? They happen every day. These quakes literally happen every day. And occasionally we even get a large 5.0 to 5.5 earthquake here. They happen. They happen. Southern California, down here near the Baja. This is the Gulf of California. The Gulf of California here. This is a 3.0 earthquake. 3.0 small earthquake. Notice where it's at. This earthquake is on the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault. Yes, the same fault that connects up at the north side at the Cascadia subduction zone. Then the San Andreas Fault travels all the way through out California and all the way down to southern Mexico. A 3.0 small quake here. We go up here near the border area. This is another 3.4 earthquake here, near what they call Delta, Baja California. 3.4 small earthquake here. We move up north here to the Imperial Valley, Southern California, Imperial County, Southern California. Holdville. The San Andreas Fault comes here. This is the 1.4 tremor here in Holdville. Up north, you see another earthquake here, right here. Brawley, California. I've been there. 1.4 tremor here in Brawley, California. They're not showing any of the other earthquakes here. We typically have 500 earthquakes here in Imperial Valley every day. And they're showing us only 2. Tomorrow I'm going to show you a lot more. Up here in the northwest, this is still the Imperial Valley, but they're showing this is Ocotillo Wells, a 1.0 tremor. Up here to the north, this is Borrego Springs, northeast San Diego County. This is also a 1.0 tremor. Over here to the south, this is 14 miles southwest of Ocotillo. It's 0.8 microquake. To the northwest, this happens to be 14 miles east-southeast of Julian, California. It's 0.8 microquake. Further to the northwest, 10 miles east-southeast of Julian. Interesting. Julian, California is the apple capital of San Diego County. I've talked a lot about Julian. Right now you can go up to Julian and there's bed and breakfast you can go to. There are restaurants you can go to where you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner and have hot apple pie and hot apple cider there in Julian. They ought to pay me to do this commercial for them. 0.4 microquake here, northeast Julian here. This is a 1.0 tremor here in Borrego Springs. 1.0 tremor here in Borrego Springs. Anza Borrego Desert State Park in northeast San Diego County. Again, they're not showing all the earthquakes here either. Over here in the northeast, this is a 2.4 also here in the Anza Borrego Desert State Park. 2.4 minor earthquake here. Going north, you see a confluence of earthquakes here. Small swarm of earthquakes. That is a 2.1. This is a 1.2. Guess what? All of these are in the Anza Borrego Desert State Park. Swarm of earthquakes here. Guess where they're at? Guess where they're at? The San Jacinto Fault here. The San Jacinto Fault here. Okay? To the north here, Idlewild, California. This is 6 miles south of Idlewild. it's a 0.8 microquake. Also on the San Jacinto Fault. Interesting. We go north. Valley Vista, also a 0.7 microquake on the San Jacinto Fault. Earthquake here. Orange County, Nuevo, California, 1.0 tremor. We go up north to the northeast here. This is Yucaipa, San Andreas Fault, guys. 2.1 earthquake here. 2.1 earthquake. As you can see, we have a lot of earthquakes, but it's not all the earthquakes are hitting here. Again, we're not only being shown a few, we're hardly being shown any here. Up in this region here, up in this Los Angeles region, this whole area, there are hundreds of faults in this area besides the San Andreas and the San Jacinto. There are over 400 earthquakes a day here in the Los Angeles area. They're hardly showing any at all. They're hardly showing any at all. Over here, Redlands, 0.9 microquake here on the San Jacinto. Right next to it, also 0.8. Let's go up here to the northwest. Ontario, San Bernardino County. This is the 1.6 tremor here. Not a big deal, nobody felt it. Tremors and minor earthquakes cannot be felt. Going over here into Los Angeles, Villa Park, 0.8 microquake. Again, we are not even being shown all of the earthquakes here. Yes, we have plenty of microquakes. We have plenty of minor earthquakes. We also have plenty of small and even moderate earthquakes here in Los Angeles area. Like I said, over 400 earthquakes a day occur here in the LA area, LA and Orange County. They're not showing us any of them, literally. By all intents and purposes, they're not showing any here. They might as well not. They might as well not. Going up north here, this is on the southern part of the Garlock Fault. The southern end of the Garlock Fault where it intersects with the San Andreas. This is a 1.5 tremor here. 1.5 tremor here near Lebec, California. Over here to the northeast, this is off the Garlock Fault in a volcanic area. This is a 1.4 tremor here near Arvin, California. We go up north here to the areas where we had 7.0 earthquakes here a few years ago. Searles Valley area, they're not showing us any earthquakes at all. Interesting, but no cigar because there are earthquakes here. There are earthquakes here. Let's go out here. This is Rachel, Nevada. This is a 3.2 earthquake here. Happens to be 4.3 miles deep. This earthquake here, Hico, Nevada, 1.6 tremor here. This is over just north of Nellis Air Force Base. This is a 1.8 tremor here, north of Las Vegas. 1.4 tremor here near Nellis Air Force Base, north of Las Vegas. Earthquakes are happening everywhere, guys. Earthquakes are happening everywhere. I want to go up here into south central Utah. Milford, Utah. The Black Rock Desert Volcano. The Black Rock Desert Volcano here. This is a 1.3 tremor. Again, this is not the only earthquake that hit here. 1.3 tremor here at the Black Rock Desert Volcano here in south central Utah. Been here. Been here. I have some fossils here from the shale here at the Black Rock Desert Volcano. Up here in the northeast, Emory, Utah. This is a 1.1 tremor here. Guys, look where this earthquake is. This is on the Wasatch Fault. The Wasatch Mountains, Wasatch Fault. This Wasatch Fault goes all the way up here into southeastern Idaho. Southeastern Idaho, Soda Springs area. It comes down here into northern Utah. Guess what? There's magma down here. There is magma down here in northern Utah. There happens to be a spa down here in northern Utah called Crystal Springs. Heated by magma. Heated by magma. From what? From what? The Yellowstone Magma Chamber. The Yellowstone Magma Chamber. And I will bet you if we went to the University of Utah Seismological Center, we could see earthquakes here. They happen every day. They happen literally every day. Let's go north in here to Yellowstone or near Yellowstone. 45 miles, allegedly southeast of West Yellowstone, just southwest of Yellowstone Lake. It's not southeast of West Yellowstone, guys. It is in West Yellowstone. This is just barely southwest of Yellowstone Lake. And 0.3 microquake. 0.3 microquake. Why am I showing you these earthquakes? Simple reason. Very simple reason. We keep being told that the Yellowstone volcano is going to erupt. It's not. It's not. In order for the Yellowstone volcano to erupt, we have to have consistent earthquakes here. Consistent earthquakes, not just microquakes. We have to have consistent 4.5 to 5.0 earthquakes in West Yellowstone. In West Yellowstone. That's not happening. It's not happening, guys. This other earthquake right here, this also is a 0.8 microquake. And this is a 0.2. The Mammoth Glacier Basin. Or not glacier, I'm sorry, Mammoth Geyser Basin. Mammoth Geyser Basin, guys. Why? Because we have geysers erupting here. Geysers erupting. Guys, there are geysers all over this area. The geysers erupt, letting loose energy here from the volcano. The magma down beneath the Yellowstone volcano is heating up water here. Heating up groundwater here. Guys, if this wasn't happening, we might see more pressure build up here in the Yellowstone volcano area, then we'd have problems. It's not happening. It's not happening. Again, I will tell you when something's going to happen because I monitor this area every day. I monitor every day. I have family living over this area. From Rexburg, Idaho south. From Rexburg, Idaho south here. Down here in Pocatello, Idaho. Down here in the northern Utah. Salt Lake City. All the way down here to southern Utah. I have family. Now, folks, I want to tell you this. This whole area of Yellowstone and the surrounding area, Wyoming, Montana, not Montana, Montana, Idaho, eastern Wyoming, or I'm not east Wyoming, eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, western Nebraska, western South Dakota, and even parts of western North Dakota. They're all part of the huge disaster area. If the Yellowstone volcano goes, I shouldn't say when the Yellowstone volcano goes, it's not going anytime soon. But when the Yellowstone volcano goes, everyone in this area will be annihilated. If anyone survives, they will be very lucky. Because there will be asphalt. There will be lava flowing across the surface of the earth here. This area I just explained is the #1 disaster area. I will show you more about this in a future program. But right now, this is not going to happen. Not anytime soon. I want to go up here into Washington State. They're showing us a few earthquakes here. Up here at the Washington-Canadian border. Osceola, Canada, 1.5 tremor. Going over here, Western Washington, Warm Beach, Washington, Puget Sound area, 1.7 tremor. We go south over here to the Olympic Peninsula area, Quilcene, Washington, another 1.5 tremor. We go on the other side of the Puget Sound, Maltby, Washington, 1.4 tremor here. There are more earthquakes than they're showing here. There are hundreds of earthquakes here that they're not showing here. I'll talk about this week. Right here, Skyhomish, Washington. This is a 1.2 tremor. Interesting that they don't talk about what's going on at the volcanoes. They're not showing anything here at Mount Rainier. Nothing. Not a thing. Why not? East of that here, Selah, Washington. This is a 0.7 microquake near Yakima. I can promise you there are more earthquakes here as well. They're not showing any earthquakes here. Mount St. Helens. I shouldn't say Mount St. Helens, this is Mount Adams. They're showing one earthquake here at Mount St. Helens. 0.6 microquake. I can promise you this, that there's tens of hundreds of earthquakes here. I shouldn't say that. There are about 100 minor microquakes here. There are about 100 microquakes here. This is a 0.6 earthquake here. This is 0.5. This, they say, is a surface quake. Guess what? It's not. This is 7/10 of a mile deep. 7/10 of a mile deep. It's not a surface quake at all. This is 0.8 microquake. This is at 0.6 I pointed out. And this is a 0.1 microquake here. As I said, there are hundreds of microquakes here. Minor earthquakes all over here. Small earthquakes, 3.0, 3.5 happening every day. But they're not showing it. Mount St. Helens and to a similar extent, Mount Rainier to the north. Not just microquakes, minor earthquakes, small earthquakes, and I believe Mount Rainier has a 4.2 moderate earthquake here today that they're not showing. Why not? Why not? Interesting, but no cigar. I can't even believe they're not showing all the earthquakes here. They can show hundreds more, but they're not. Now, guys, I have given you a tour of the earth, literally. There are over 1,000 earthquakes in Europe. Over 1,000 earthquakes in Europe. In Washington. Washington alone. There are over 150 earthquakes a day. Oregon, on the other hand, probably closer to 75. And I've been telling you what California has as well. California's still moving up here in Northern California. Right here. The geysers area. Guys, you can see where the geysers facility is. This is a geothermal facility. Geothermal facility where men have drilled into the upper magma chambers of the Clear Lake volcano to the north to harvest steam, to power turbines here, to generate electricity. But again, they're not showing any of the minor earthquakes. They're not showing any of the tremors here at Clear Lake. There are. Clear Lake volcano is an active volcano. They're not showing anything here. The geysers facility here, the only reason we have earthquakes here is we have seismic energy coming off the Pacific plate here. Coming off the Pacific plate here, and the seismic energy is coming off the Pacific, going over here onto the North American continent, the North American plate. That seismic energy hits these man-made earthquake faults, causing rock fracturing in these drill points, which is called earth movement, in other words, earthquakes. That's what we're seeing here. And you're seeing a brand new earthquake here. This happens to be at 1.0 tremor here in the geysers facility. Interesting. Let's zoom in here. Let's take a look at what's going on. Look where this earthquake is. This earthquake just happened to be west of the drill points. Just to the right of that earthquake, you see a grassy facility. Not grass, it's forest area. Those are trees. Just to the right of there. That is where man has drilled into the upper magma chambers of the volcano to harvest steam from the volcano. And just to the east of there, or to the right, we have a set eight or nine turbines here. 8 or 9 turbines. What they've done is they've drilled in the upper magma chambers of the Clear Lake volcano, harvesting the steam. The steam is powered through conduits, PVC pipe alongside the roadways here, coming over here into the processing facility with the turbines, and then the steam powers the turbines here, generating electricity here in the geysers facility. Interesting. Wine country. Wine country. There are over 81 turbines in this facility. There are over 81 turbines in this facility throughout the Sonoma County Mountains here. 81 turbines generating electricity here in the geysers facility here. Every day. Every day earthquakes happen here. Pico is saying, how do the tremors affect the waters of Puget Sound? It's not the waters I'm worried about. It's not the waters I worry about. You know what I worry about? These earthquakes are in direct relation to the Cascadia earthquake here. Earthquakes around the Puget Sound area are in direct correlation with the earthquakes off the coast. They're not showing any of those. I think tomorrow we'll talk about this in detail. I'll bring up seismograms showing you the earthquakes that are happening here. They're not showing diddly squat, literally. Hundreds of earthquakes are happening here. Guys, we are getting closer and closer and closer to a Cascadia megathrust earthquake that's going to happen here. Going to happen here. Probably right between the Cascadia subduction zone and the zigzag fault called the Juan de Fuca Fault. Juandefuca, the Juan de Fuca Fault. It's going to happen. With all the earthquakes that are hitting here, I believe it's going to happen probably within the next 5 years. I don't know when exactly. I can't tell you the exact day or year, but it's going to happen. It will happen. As we see these earthquakes hit, I can guarantee you these are just not a release of energy that would make the Cascadia Fault almost non-existent. It's not a release of energy at all. Okay? It is just telling us that the Cascadia megathrust earthquake, a 9.0, 10.0 magnitude earthquake, is incoming. It is incoming. And yet the agency doesn't want us to believe it. The agency keeps telling us nothing's happening here. That's why they don't show us any more earthquakes than they're showing us. They don't want us to know what's happening. They, in fact, I've shown you, they have, in fact, erased earthquakes off the seismogram. They have erased data off the seismogram, guys. That is how hell-bent they are to tell us nothing is going on. But it's not just that. It's the politicians. It's the politicians that are telling them to do that. Because the politicians want to remain in control. Imagine this. If the politicians was not telling the USGS and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network not to show these earthquakes, would we see more earthquakes? Most assuredly we would. Probably not all of them, though. but they would be showing us a lot more earthquakes. They would be talking about this. Heaven's sakes, guys, I've been part of 3 earthquake drills in this region. I have been part of 3 earthquake drills in the Cascadia region because we know for a fact that the Cascadia earthquake is going to happen. We know that for a fact. It's a matter of time. Cascadia 9.0 to 10.0 earthquake is going to happen. It's a matter of time. We have to keep an eye on what's going on here. We have to keep an eye on what's going on. Because this earthquake is not just going to be here. The seismic energy is going to travel up here to Alaska. The seismic energy is going to be felt up here in Alaska. It's also going to be felt all the way down here into Southern California, all the way down to northern Mexico. Why? Because the Cascadia subduction zone, the Juan de Fuca fault to the north, is connected right here. Connected right here. All the way up here. The Juan de Fuca fault, ladies and gentlemen, is connected to this fault right here, which is connected to this fault right here, the Gorda Ridge. This fault right here is called the Blanco Fracture Zone. To the north, connected to the Juan de Fuca fault. The Blanco Fracture Zone connected to the Gorda Ridge. The Gorda Ridge is connected to the Gorda Escarpment, which is also connected to California, the California mainland. On the same token, the Cascadia subduction zone, which connects up here to Haida Gwaii, which has its own subduction area here just to the west of Haida Gwaii, that is going to have just as powerful an earthquake as the Cascadia. And the people living here on Haida Gwaii need to be aware of that, because you guys are going to feel a huge major earthquake. You're also going to be inundated with a tsunami, 30 to 150 feet high. And you're not going to have much place to go because the mountains don't go that high. There's going to be a huge loss of life here at Haida Gwaii when either the Haida Gwaii subduction zone goes or the Cascadia goes. Either way. The Cascadia subduction zone goes down here west of Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island is going to be shaken. And we'll see part of the tsunami as well. Yeah. Southwestern British Columbia, Washington State, Oregon, California, all the way to northern Mexico. Not to be outdone. Actually, before I go there, the Cascadia subduction zone connects with the Gorda Escarpment down here, and it connects by way of the San Andreas Fault. That's how this energy is going to be transferred from the Cascadia all the way down through northern Mexico via the San Andreas Fault, which goes all the way through California. Off the coast of Muir Woods, California. Off the coast of Point Reyes, Muir Woods, California. This is a 2.5 earthquake here. That's a 2.5 earthquake. Again, over here in Pacifica, we have another tremor here. Tremor's been happening over here in the San Francisco Bay Area here in Pacifica every day now for weeks. 1.2 1.2 tremor here in Pacifica today on the eastern side of the San Francisco Bay. For almost 2 weeks now. Rob, 52, has a daughter living here in San Ramon, California. Today they had another 1.2 tremor here on the Hayward Fault. The Hayward Fault is a huge fault zone. It's a very deadly fault zone. We found that out in October, the beginning of October, 1989, when a 6.9 earthquake hit and destroyed the San Francisco Bay Bridge, the eastern portion of the San Francisco Bay Bridge, and a lot of places in San Francisco and around San Francisco, all the way down to San Jose. Just to the east of the Hayward, we have the Calaveras. It's just as deadly a fault zone. Together with the San Andreas, they go north here, or I should say south. When they go south here, they converge here just south of Monterey Bay, which makes this area one of the most dangerous areas of California to be in. 3 very dangerous fault zones here converge. Not a good place to be. Today here, Tres Pinos. 3.5 years ago, we had a 5.0 earthquake here. It broke a pipe here in a oil refinery that caused a huge fire. It happened at quitting time, 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Interstate 5 was packed. Tres Pinos. Today we have a 2.7 minor earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault. Now, as I said, the Cascadia subduction zone fault is going to happen. I've said the fault, not the fault, but the earthquake will be felt all the way north to Alaska, all the way south to northern Mexico, and all the way across the entire United States of America and Canada. The entire North American continent will feel that earthquake. Fact. You can take that to the bank. No, it won't be a 9.0 earthquake on the East Coast, but it's probably going to be at least a 5.0, 5.5 earthquake here on the East Coast. The whole continent's going to shake. It's going to shake like a leaf. Is USGS talking about it? Hell no. They don't want anybody to know about it. The politicians are not talking about it. They should be, but they're not. They're not. It's going to be felt all across the entire North American continent. Over on the New Madrid Fault today, USGS is showing us an earthquake here. Ridgely, Tennessee. 2.3 minor earthquake here. Guess what? It's not the only quake here in Ridgely, Tennessee. Hundreds of earthquakes are hitting all up and down the entire New Madrid Fault. From Illinois here, Indiana, Ohio, down through Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana. All of you folks are feeling earthquakes today. If you're not feeling them, you're still having them. We are having tremors, we're having minor earthquakes, and yes, we are having 3.0, 3.5, and 4.5 earthquakes up and down the entire New Madrid Fault zone. But they're not showing them. They're not showing them. They should be. Because everyone that lives here, millions of people live up and down the entire pneumatic fault zone. When that fault opens up, probably sometime within the next 2 years, when it opens up, it's going to be one of the most destructive earthquakes we've ever seen. Probably on the destructive scale of an 8.0 earthquake. Yeah, an 8.0 earthquake here on the pneumatic fault. Look out. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Does anybody have any questions for me? Picoe is asking, Ron, how many fault zones are there altogether here in the U.S.? Thousands. Literally thousands of fault zones. Thousands of fault zones. It's not just the New Madrid. It's not the Eastern Tennessee Fault Seismic Zone. It's not just the Eastern Continental Divide. There are hundreds of fault zones up and down the entire east coast of North America and also over here into Canada. Hundreds of faults, literally. But again, they're not talking about it. Heaven forbid they talk about these earthquakes or even talk about faults. There are faults all throughout every state in the United States, all over Canada. Literally. Literally. That's why we have earthquakes. Here in the Midwest, we have earthquakes because of oil and gas drilling. Oil and gas drilling. Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Oklahoma is showing an earthquake today in Mino, Oklahoma. A 2.0 minor earthquake here. Fascinating, guys. Fascinating. Look at this. Just to the north of this earthquake, within 6 to 10 miles of this earthquake, guess what we have? This is a pump and jack. You see multiple pumps and jacks on this fault. Or I shouldn't say fault, it's a pad here. Excuse me. It's a bulldozed oil and gas drilling pad. Usually we can't get this close by satellite, but this time they're allowing us to see this. Anywhere within 6 to 10 miles of an oil and gas pad, we have earthquakes. They're called oil and gas fracking earthquakes. That's what happened here. They say this is 2 miles southeast of Mino, Oklahoma. Interesting. Interesting. Guess what we have here? Another pump and jack. Right next to this earthquake. Right next to this earthquake. They say this is southeast of Mino, Oklahoma. Guess what? I don't think they're right. I think it's northeast of Mino, Oklahoma. Right here. Right here, Mino, Oklahoma. Again, I wish that USGS would get their heads together. I wish they would tell us exactly where these earthquakes are. They're not. They're not. The United States USGS only shows us what they want us to see. And they don't pinpoint the accuracy of what's going on. When it comes to earthquakes in the Pacific Northwest, they say those earthquakes at, for example, Mount Rainier are northeast of another city in Washington. Or in the case of Mount St. Helens, it's southeast of another city because they don't want to pinpoint where the earthquakes really are. Heaven forbid. The same thing in Alaska, the same thing in Canada. They don't want us to know exactly what's going on. Incredible. Trish Killing is here in the chat. Thanks for being here, Trish. Brahms are the public schools on the New Madrid prepared for the emergency? No, they're not. They're really not. Not even as much as Seattle is. Seattle is at least getting prepared. They have told their school districts in and around Washington State, you're going to have an earthquake. You need to prepare for it. In fact, there is one high school east of Seattle. It's built on a hillside. And guess what? The high school is built to withstand earthquakes, and it's multi-story. So any students at that high school are going to be able to go upstairs and avoid the tsunami that's going to be coming as well. Yeah. But on the New Madrid, are they preparing? No. They're not. Trish Killing is saying for each child had been a full emergency supplies for themselves. Each and every family, guys, on the New Madrid or over in the Pacific Northwest, each and every family there should be preparing their students. Each and every family should be preparing the students to have an earthquake and know full well what's going to happen and how they should handle themselves. Yes, the schools are semi-prepared. I'm saying semi-prepared. They're not even being honest what's going on because the counties, the cities, and the state of Washington are not even being truthful about what's happening. They're not. Let me tell you something. Actually, I can go over here because I've been down here in Little Rock, Arkansas. In 2011, we held a disaster drill here in Little Rock, simulating what would happen when the New Madrid fault gave up. We used police departments, fire departments all over this area, including from Memphis, Tennessee. We had sheriff's deputies, we had police officers, we had National Guard troops from all over the region. Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. National Guard troops as well, up and down the fault. Why? Because when the earthquake hits, all those troops that participate, all the troops and National Guard troops that participate, and all the police, the fire departments, the sheriff's offices, they will also be called into duty to help with the disaster recovery. To help with the disaster recovery and the recovery of bodies as a result of that earthquake. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We have done 2 New Madrid earthquake drills here. We have done 2 full-blown drills here on the New Madrid fault. Up in the Pacific Northwest, we've done 3 disaster drills. We were here in Spokane, Washington. We did the drills in Spokane, Washington. We had police officers from Seattle Police. We had police officers from Spokane here. We had police and sheriff's deputies from Idaho. We had police and sheriff's deputies from Oregon, all over Washington state. We even had representatives from Canada there. Why? Because guess what, folks? Guess what? They are also going to be involved with this earthquake because they are going to feel that 9.0 earthquake when it hits. They're going to feel that 9.0 earthquake when it hits. Before I flew into Spokane, I spoke with the police chief here. I said, Chief, we're coming there to hold a disaster drill regarding the Cascade earthquake. Really? She didn't even know of it. 2 weeks later, I went there. We flew into Spokane 2 weeks, or 2 weeks later, we flew into Spokane for the drill. I made my way to the police department and spoke with the police and fire chief. That way they knew for a surety what was going on. And let me tell you this, they were invited to be part of the drill, as were the other police and sheriff's deputies all over Washington, Idaho, Oregon, and even up into Canada. They're all invited to participate as well as the National Guard. Why? Because, folks, they will be here. They will be affected by the quake. They will be affected by the quake. We had National Guard troops from Montana and Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Nevada, California, and parts of Arizona. We had them here so they could get experience because they're going to be handling what's going to happen. They need to be familiar with what's going on, as all of you should be. All of you need to be prepared. We've been talking about this for 6.5 years, over 6.5 years. I was on the air 6 years ago on April 3rd. Now we're at November 17th. I've been talking not just about earthquakes. I've been talking about every kind of disaster or earthquake that could happen. All kinds of disasters and emergencies around the globe. Why? Because I want to get people prepared. I don't care whether it's Stockholm, Sweden, London, England, Southampton, England. I don't care whether it's Fargo, North Dakota. I don't care whether it's Sydney, Australia. I don't care whether it's Tokyo. I don't care whether it's Melbourne, New Zealand, or Melbourne, Australia, or over into New Zealand. I don't really care. What I care is about saving lives. I care about saving lives, you guys. Trish, I didn't know you guys were originally from Spokane. That's awesome. By the way, give Rich a hug for me. One day I want to shake you guys' hand. One day I want to shake your hands, guys. It's more than a pleasure to be here with all of you. All of you. I care about you. I care very much about your safety. I care very much about your families. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be on the air today. I am on the air because I care about each and every one of your safety. I care about your families. That's paramount in my mind. That is paramount in my mind today. Now, do we have any questions here? Do we have any questions about anything we talked about? Earthquakes are happening all over. Europe itself has had over 1,000 earthquakes. I would dare say there are over 2,500 earthquakes around the globe. 2,500 earthquakes around the globe. And they are not even addressing what's going on. Incredible. Incredible. Anyway, I just took down the map because I have some other things I need to speak with you about. To you folks specifically here in the United States, this affects all of you. Millions of people, millions and millions of people across the United States and all around the world, for that matter, over in the U.S. territories of Puerto Rico, in the Leeward Islands, the Gulf of Mexico, and all the way down in Guam. This is affected, what I'm going to say now is affected each one of you. The Democrat Party, the leadership of the Democrat Party is falling apart. They've been falling apart and lying to us for years. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. They've been touting that there was a great big huge conspiracy with Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin back in 2016. They told you it was conspiracy theory. They called us crazy for even asking the questions about it. For nearly a decade, the legacy media, big tech, and Washington insiders buried the story. And they also mocked anyone who dared to dig deeper. When the Conservative Party started going into Obamagate, they called it Obamagate, there was an investigation. When they started their investigation, they called it a conspiracy theory, a far right-wing fantasy. Now, over 20 CIA and FBI whistleblowers have come forward. And those whistleblowers are singing very loud and clear. And their testimonies are sending shockwaves throughout the DC swamp like never before. All of us knew when President Trump had nominated Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence that she would take this deep state head on. And she's not disappointed any of us at all. Let me put up some pictures here that you all need to see. Give me just a second. I should have these put up before I came on the air. I'll get them up here. Tulsi Gabbard. She's the President Director of National Intelligence. Okay? Tulsi Gabbard. There was a House Intelligence Committee that tried to launch a bombshell. But that bombshell was locked away in a CIA vault since September 2020. What that revealed is absolutely nothing short of explosive. The Russia collusion hoax wasn't a legitimate investigation that went sideways. It was from the very beginning manufactured from the top down. From the top down. None other than Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. He was primarily the cause of it. He was the cause of a lot of things that happened. And a lot of things that are going to happen. He was the cause of a lot of things that are going to happen. But guess what? It's not over. The Russia collusion was orchestrated by Barack Hussein Obama. After Donald Trump shocked the world by defeating Hillary Clinton in 2016 November, we all knew what would happen. Obama wasn't satisfied with his own intelligence community's reporting. The official assessments from every single intelligence agency, the FBI, the CIA, the National Intelligence Agency, and even Homeland Security. Every single agency together supposedly concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to hack the United States election. They started up again in 2024. But by then, we knew damn well the Democrats were trying to orchestrate something else. But that's exactly what was presented to Barack Hussein Obama in December 2016. Just a few weeks after Trump crushed Hillary in November on the 8th, 2016, something unprecedented happened. Just weeks before Obama was set to leave office, after Trump already won, Obama ordered a coordinated effort to manufacture intelligence, concluding the exact opposite of what every single intelligence agency had concluded. On December 9th, just days after receiving the original intelligence report exonerating Russia from election interference, Barack Hussein Obama held a meeting in the Situation Room of the White House with FBI Director James Comey. Let me put up his picture here as well. Good old James Comey. Interesting individual, another huge liar. Along with the Assistant Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, right there. Both huge liars. Andrew McCabe is under investigation, as is James Comey, for lying to the country and manufacturing all of what I'm telling you. They're being investigated and they're going to go down. Okay? Andrew McCabe. Comey was the deputy FBI director. Actually, he was the FBI director, and Andrew McCabe was the deputy director. Then somebody else came into the fray. Obama's National Intelligence Director, John Brennan. Good old John Brennan. This man right here. John Brennan. Great man this guy is. Another liar. FBI Director Comey, Andrew McCabe, CIA Director John Brennan, and then the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper. Let me put his picture up here as well. I've got them all, guys. I've got them all. There's James Clapper. Okay? Not just that. Guess who else was also invited to the meeting? Guess who else was invited to the meeting? A man named John Kerry. John Kerry, a man who once ran for president of the United States, John Kerry. At that time, under Obama, he was a Secretary of State. So I knew I should have brought these pictures back into some semblance of fashion before I came on the air today. I'm sorry about that. I want to tell you this story. It's important to understand what happened here. And that man right in the middle, not John, but Barack Hussein Obama, was responsible for what happened. He organized the whole thing. It's incredible what happened here, guys. It really is. This is something that should never have happened. There was one other person who was also involved. And put her picture up here as well. Her name was Susan Rice. She also worked in the Obama administration. Susan Rice. Interesting individual. Okay. She was a national security advisor. All these individuals were called into Barack Obama's Situation Room. Together they with Obama made a decision with the help of the mainstream media that they would literally poison American politics for years. Yeah. This is where we are now. Over the last several weeks, the now Director of National Intelligence and President Trump have declassified and released documents that have now exposed President Obama and other intelligent leaders throughout his intelligence community who knowingly manufactured a false intelligence report after the 2016 election. After the American people had overwhelmingly said, no, we want Donald Trump to be our commander-in-chief, not Hillary Clinton. The manufactured document alleged that Russia helped President Trump win the election with the aim of undermining his presidency and usurping the will and voices of the American people who sent President Trump to the White House. So all these people got together. They decided to manufacture this fake report that directly contradicted their own intelligence reports. All the other intelligence experts came together and said, no, it didn't happen. But these people said it did. Obviously, this wasn't just spin. This was a systematic creation of false intelligence designed to delegitimize a duly elected president of the United States. And this is what is so key here. This goes way beyond partisan politics. It goes way beyond partisan politics. It does not matter necessarily whether this was a Democrat or Republican administration led from backstage by Barack Hussein Obama himself. This is what Barack Obama did to himself. This is what Barack Obama got when he forced ballot boxes being stuffed and illegal ballots being taken to registrar voters' offices around the country in the middle of the night. With President Trump leading the vote on November 8th, Barack Hussein Obama and his Democrat counterparts had packed ballot boxes that had been put on street corners, literally. They packed ballot boxes with votes for Hillary Clinton. But in 2020, they packed it for what? Joseph Robinette Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden. Barack Obama's war was fought and lost because President Trump remained in office till 2020. But in 2020, November, people were sent home after President Trump was shown to be leading the race overwhelmingly. But overnight, after people went to sleep, the packed ballot boxes that were put up by Barack Hussein Obama and his minions around this country literally around this country. Those ballots started being counted when they weren't supposed to be. They're brought into the registrar of voters' offices around this country in the dead of night, when the press wasn't showing them. But there were cameras. There were cameras at the back of the registrar of voters' offices, and it wasn't sheriff's deputies escorting the ballots in. The law says law enforcement has to escort the ballots from different precincts. That didn't happen because Barack Obama had the voter ballots packed. After everybody went to bed, they woke up in the morning, and President Trump was no longer leading, but Biden had surged to win the election. Now what you see up at the top left corner of your screen, Director Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, is exposing here what represents a fundamental attack on the democratic process itself. Not the party, but the process. When intelligence agencies go rogue and manufacture evidence to undermine a duly elected president, again, at the behest of the outgoing president, we're not talking politics anymore. What we are talking about is a constitutional crisis. Director Tulsi Gabbard's words are talking about treason. Treason. Of every one of these people pictured here on your screen, those are the words she's using, treason. What happened was treasonous behavior on the part of all those who are involved. Obama himself directed the intelligence community assessments. They made 4 central claims that became the foundation for years of investigations, impeachment efforts, and the illegal Mueller witch hunt, funded by who else? The U.S. taxpayer. All of you. All of you funded this. Incredible. Incredible. Number 1, allegedly, Vladimir Putin wanted President Trump to win the election. That is far from the truth. 2, they allege Putin took action, direct action, to help President Trump win. False. Number 3, the Democrat Party said that the Russians blackmailed material on Trump. The infamous Steele dossier. The same Steele dossier that Hillary Clinton paid a European English informant to put together. Fabricated salacious details about Trump, and that Putin and Trump were supposedly using to manipulate him. Number 4, the Democrats said that the Russians colluded with the Trump campaign. Every single one of these allegations was not just false. They were all fabricated. They were frauds. They were all intentionally manufactured to sabotage Trump's presidency. There was no verifiable intelligence to support any of it. None of it. Now it looks more and more like the CIA and the FBI agents are coming forward. And they're now singing in the multi-agency choir. Now, why am I talking about tonight? If there is a lesson to learn here, if there is a lesson for all of us to learn, it's this: that the radical left and the deep state that have been trying to expose us for nothing, we now are trying to expose this problem. That the Democrat Party, the deep state, will stop at nothing to hold on to and to protect their power over our nation's founding documents and what our nation was founded for. One of the most effective ways that we can fight back against all of this, every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Every single day is by making sure that we're tapping into parallel institutions that President Trump has been showing us over the past years. Tapping into those institutions, knowing why we're here today, knowing our Constitution, knowing our rights. Knowing our rights. The deep state has no control over us if we come back and say, no, you're not going to do it. The Democrat deep state has been trying to stop us at every turn. That's why Chuck Schumer and company have been trying to put a stop to our country moving forward. They stopped the government from functioning for over 49 days. Longest government stoppage in history. Longest work stoppage in history. What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about that, guys? This is insanity. This is absolute and complete insanity. Absolute and complete insanity. Tulsi Gabbard is speaking out. Over 20 FBI and CIA agents are speaking out. Because that one man on the center of your top screen started this. They lost. They lost. We must now make sure that these same Democrat communists are thrown out of office. They must be thrown out of office or either by recall be held accountable for their actions and then brought before justices. They must be judicially prosecuted through trials and then spend the rest of their lives in prison for what they've done. That's what has to happen. Again, we've got more reports than just more than 20. We've got reports from as many as 20 plus FBI and CIA agents and more that have been interviewed during this investigation into the origins of the Russia collusion narrative. The Steele dossier that Hillary Clinton paid for. These agents are singing. We now have reports from over 70 witnesses interviewed. Over 300,000 documents produced. 2,000 classified source documents from the intelligence community assessment. Over 230 hours of testimony. These agents are reportedly key insiders in terms of both rank and file and high-level officials who have reportedly blown the whistle, provided testimony, pointing directly at Barack Hussein Obama regarding the manipulation of the intelligence assessment used to frame the Russian hoax investigation. This is now all coming to a head in front of a federal grand jury. A federal grand jury is going to be impaneled in just weeks, in January next year, at Fort Pierce, Florida. That is in the Southern District of Florida. The grand jury is going to investigate everything involved in what was technically known as Crossfire Hurricane Operation and the potential criminal conspiracy charges against everyone that have been involved in it. Starting at the top, Barack Hussein Obama. What is so fascinating is this. Pam Bondi, the President Attorney General of the United States, appears to be taking full advantage of the fact that conspiracies are trans-jurisdictional. They're trans-jurisdictional, not just federal, but state and local as well. Crossing jurisdictional lines, state, federal, and even local. Constitutionally, conspiracy charges can be tried anywhere, like crimes involving money laundering. We are being told that this grand jury is considering evidence that is again going all the way to the top, to Barack Hussein Obama himself. It's been announced that Kash Patel has now dropped over 30 subpoenas. 30 subpoenas hitting the desks and doorsteps of people once thought that they were absolutely untouchable. 30 subpoenas so far have gone out to people who thought they were untouchable. They're not. And there will be more subpoenas going out. We're talking about former CIA Director John Brennan, who led the agency under Barack Obama when the Russia investigation began. Then we talk about a man named Peter Strzok. Let me show you his picture. Does anybody remember who Peter Strzok was? I guess I don't have a picture of Peter Strzok. I should have gotten one. Sorry, guys, I don't have one. I thought I did. Peter Strzok was an FBI agent. He was Assistant Director of Counterintelligence for the FBI, who together with another lady, an FBI attorney named Lisa Page, his lover. Lisa Page had been married, but she and Peter Strzok were having an affair. She sent a text message to Peter Strzok saying, "Is President Trump really going to get elected?" Peter Strzok said, "Hell no. Not if we can help it." But between Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Comey, guess what? They were in on all this. But since they left office, the Democrats left office, and President Trump fired James Comey, who is now under indictment. He has been arrested and is under indictment for the crimes that he's committed. Lisa Page and Peter Strzok have fallen off the radar. Fallen off the radar. Lisa Page should have known better. She was an FBI attorney. Incredible. James Clapper, I showed you a picture of earlier, former Director of National Intelligence, and approximately 26 other officials are connected with the 2017 intelligence community that was intentionally altered and fabricated to make it look as if Trump and Russia had colluded to interfere with the 2016 election. Federal prosecutors are investigating whether Obama-era officials manipulated intelligence for political purposes. For years, Democrats have told us that no one is above the law, even as late as last week. I heard Chuck Schumer utter those words himself. No one is above the law. They tried twice to indict President Trump and failed. Twice, President Trump was dragged through the mud in the United States Senate and failed. They tried in New York State to bring charges against him and failed. They tried in Georgia, they failed. Both state attorney generals in New York and Georgia are now under indictment themselves. violation of the law. The Democrat senators set the rules. They made the laws that they have since violated. If the evidence proves that a sitting president engineered an intelligence operation to delegitimize his successor and subvert the will of over 63 million American voters, then Barack Hussein Obama, John Brennan, James Comey, and everyone else involved need to face the consequences. This time it looks like the dam is breaking. Justice might be coming, finally. After how many years? 10 years. This time the justice is backed by receipts. What do you all think? What do you all think? Do you think we might get justice finally? Do you think we might get justice? I don't know. I truthfully don't know. I'm hoping it will happen. Lena says, I was in disarray back then, treason committed in real time, not accounted for. I'd like to see USA justice. I agree. So would I. Dirty dog cheat is what Obama was. He was an illegitimate president. He should never have been elected. He should never have been brought up as president to begin with. He was not a United States-born citizen, although he fabricated a document from Hawaii saying he was. He was not born in Hawaii at all. Another fabricated document. He was an illegitimate president. Annabella says, I think no one got away with anything because God saw it all. I think God did see it all. But I hope at least now, these people face punishment in real life. In real life. Guys, I love you. I care about you. Otherwise, I would not even talk about this. I have something else to show you if I've still got it here. Let me check. Yes, I do. I want to show you a brief video of Vice President Vance. And this is important. I'm showing you in closing of our program now.
Years, and I think probably longer. So a lot of Americans, when we took over, they were struggling. They either were underemployed or they didn't have a job altogether. Their wages had been stagnant. And the President of the United States said the most important thing that we have to fix is for people to be able to live a good life. We need a good job to pay good wages. We need people to be able to go to the grocery store and actually buy what they need for their family. That takes a little bit of time. And I know that there are a lot of people out there, Sean, who are saying things are expensive. And we have to remember they're expensive because we inherited this terrible inflation crisis from the Biden administration. But you've already seen signs that things are getting better. The price of eggs has gone way down. The price of energy has gone way down. The price of gasoline has gone way down. And as we know, when the price of energy goes down, that starts to filter out into the entire economy. But that also takes a little bit of time. There's another component of this, Sean, which to me is maybe the most important because I care so much about our young people being able to afford a good life. A lot of young people are saying housing is way too expensive. Why is that? Because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who were taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had. So what we're doing is trying to make it easier to build houses, trying to make it easier to build factories and things like that so that people have good jobs. We're also getting all of those illegal aliens out of our country, and you're already seeing it start to pay some dividends. Let me give you a very clear statistical example. Under the Biden administration, the price of a new home literally doubled in 4 years. It went up 100%. Under the Trump administration, housing and rent prices are up about 1% to 2%. That's actually in line with what you would like to see. So again, we inherited a disaster. We're very mindful of the fact that there's a lot of work to do, but I think that we've made great progress. And the final point I'll make about this, Sean, is the most important way to fix this affordability crisis is to make people's wages go up. And that is where the Trump economy, I think, just objectively, obviously I'm very biased, but I think objectively is doing better than any economy in 50 or 60 years. Blue collar wages are going up, working people's wages, middle class wages are going up, and that's how we ultimately chip away at the Biden affordability crisis, is that we make an economy where people can afford to buy the things that they need. The best way to do that is good jobs and good wages, and that's why the president's focus is where it is.
I want to see that.
Okay. Actually, let me go just a second.
That manufacturing get online, because those are high-paying career jobs.
Yes, they are.
You know,
Okay. We're going to see more jobs in this country. We're going to see a lot of good changes coming forward. It's going to happen. It's a matter of time. Honest Stream is asking, do you have any idea what will happen with the new Matter Cascade earthquake? Sorry, I joined late. Go back and watch this program. Go back to the beginning and watch this program once we leave the air. I told you all early on what's going to happen with the Cascadia fault zone, what's going to happen with the new Matter fault. It's going to happen. There are a lot more earthquakes there than they're showing here on the map. On the USGS map, I show you they're only showing a couple of earthquakes, literally. One on the new Matter fault and maybe 6 in the Washington State area. They're not even showing Oregon at all. I covered it very, very, very fully. Go back and watch this program. A lot of good information on this program, guys. Okay? Annabelle's saying, actually, Angel Sci-Fi says, Ron, there's a lot of nasty stuff in these files. I don't want to hear it. I personally don't want to hear or see anything in the Epstein files. I want people prosecuted. I want these politicians prosecuted who are part of the Epstein stuff. They should be brought to justice. They should be prosecuted and sent away to prison. But that's just a part of it. Now, I've got a good question. I've got a question for everybody. Last Friday morning, after the government was opened back up, several United States senators said they brought forth a bill before the Senate asking for the Epstein files to be opened. Guess what? Chuck Schumer and the Democrat Party said, no way. No way. Yes, it's possible that it could happen. It's possible the Democratic Party will bring those open, but not right now. My feeling is why. Why are they trying to hide it? Because the Democrat Party have their fingers in all of it. Democrat legislators, Democrat senators, and congressmen will go down. They know this. That's why they're not allowing it to happen right now. We shall see. We shall see. We all need to be cognizant of where we're at. We need to be cognizant of where we're at and what we're doing. We need to be doing the Lord's work. Plain and simple, we need to be doing the Lord's work. I can't say that enough. We need to put ourselves in a place with the Lord where we're standing on high ground. The scriptures have told us, and I've said this many times on our program, stand ye in holy places and be not moved. That's what the scripture says. We need to stand in holy places and be not moved. We need to be doing what the Lord wants us to do. I'm going over to Luke chapter 6, starting with verse 20 through 28. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye that when men shall hate you, when they shall separate you from your company, shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil, for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in the day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say unto you, the Lord is talking to us ourselves. But I say unto you, which hear. You guys are hearing, right? But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies. Do good to that which hates you. Bless them that curse you. And pray for them which despitefully use you. And woe unto him that smiteth thee on one cheek, offer also the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid him not to take thy cloak also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. And as ye would that man should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. If ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye then? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. And again, over here in verse 46, this is important. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not what I say? Think about that. Don't ask the Lord to bless you if you're not willing to do something for the Lord. Don't ask the Lord to bless you if you don't want to do anything for the Lord or your families or your fellow man, because you will be blessed for doing that. You'll be blessed. May God bless each and every one of you guys. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. Now, guys, I forgot to put up our PayPal and our email addresses as well as our mailing address here. Guys, if you will, I would ask you also to contribute to our PayPal to keep this program there. Costs keep going up. We'd appreciate you to help. Okay? You have our two PayPal addresses. You have our Venmo, but our Venmo doesn't work right now. But we also have our email address here. Send us comments and criticisms. We want to hear it. Send us ideas of things you want to hear on this program. Our mailing address is 504 Bethel Road, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. We'd love to see some cards and letters from you. Especially Carol. Carol loves cards and letters, guys. Inside the card or letter, stick a check or cash. Stick a donation for our program. We'd appreciate it very much. Inside a card is also stick a donation inside that card and send it to us also. We greatly appreciate it. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. May God be with you until we meet again. Brothers and sisters, I care about you. I love you very much. Take care, everyone. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everyone. Much love. See you soon. Take care. Enjoy. Be safe.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright.